Is this 45 centimeters long BMW M1000RR really as good as other reviewers say? Today we finally got our hands on it to present you an in-depth review. Let's start to build it. Here we can see a white part 60483, it's here to limit the movement of the shifting mechanism. Moving on, we can see another interesting design here. A red part per 2003 and a part 6628 ball joint are connected to a rubber piece via axle. The rubber piece is here to hold the two parts against the shifting mechanism. Here's the shifting control. When shifting, the two orange parts can move the shifter to different directions, to shift up or down. At step 48, you need to pay attention to the direction of this orange shifter and the white part 60483. If they are facing the wrong direction, the shifting pattern will be mess up. Here we can see another interesting design. There's a rubber band holding the end of this angled arm, and there's an axle here as the pivot, so the other end of this angled arm will be holding against the side of part 32034 due to the elasticity. Now the transmission is finished, let's test it. The shifting feels very crisp. When the white part 60483 reaches its limit, the shifter also can't be moved. The crispy shifting feeling comes from the elasticity force holding the part 6628 ball joint and the angled arm. After the engine is fitted, we can add a motor and test the transmission. We can replace the 11L axles with a 12L, then add an XL motor. When the white part 60483 is facing the different directions, the gears are, first, second, neutral and third. Let's move on. Here we can see two brand new brake discs, and there is a series of new parts including new wheels and tires. Here we can see another new Technic steering part, with two pinholes and two axle holes, specifically designed for the front suspension. This shock with blue spring is also a new part. On its one end, there's a pinhole and an axle hole, and there's a pinhole on the other end. It's quite strong, but the force is not from the blue spring, but from inside the shock. Here's the most shocking new parts in this set, two giant wheels and two tires, which is larger than my hand. And the tires have different width. These two shocks are brand new parts specifically designed for this motorbike. Not only do they have 6 pinholes, there's also an axle hole at the top of them. So besides large-scale motorbikes, we are wondering if we will see them in other scenarios. After we finish the third bag, we are starting to build the exterior of this bike. Here we can see another new part, the transparent windshield of this bike, with white stripes printed on it. This part is packed in a separate bag, so there's zero scratch on it. After 12 hours, we finally finished this BMW M1000RR. Like we've seen from other reviews, comparing to the Lego Ducati bike, it's like father and son. Now let's go through the highlights of this set. First is how well this set replicated the look of the real bike and the details. To give it a proper windshield, Lego even developed a new part for it, and this part is most likely will only appear in this set. Besides the overall body lines, the Acropovic exhaust, brake calipers, different wide tires, water-cooled 4-cylinder engine are all well presented on this set. As for the building experience, although the difficulty is a bit high, but Lego's designers won't make you feel bored when building it. We can see that this stand is not only just for displaying the finished set, more importantly it can help you keep the bike standing when you are building it, which makes the process easier. The most commendable thing is of course there are so many new parts developed for this set. This series of new parts not only here to form this BMW bike, but provided a whole new Lego design solution for large-scale motorbikes. So in the near future, we will see more large-scale motorbike sets. That's the largest contribution of this set. Then there's the playability of this bike. First, there are new shocks front and rear, although they feel pretty good, but they are here to make the bike more realistic instead of adding playability. The handler bar is also functional, but we don't know if the steering angle is like the real bike. For a Technic set, the most interesting part is of course the gear shifting, but this set is not motorized, so the fun part is more in the building and testing. Overall, the playability of this bike is not the most amazing part of it, which means you are better off putting it in a display box. Lego offered 2 display stands for you to choose from. There are the complaints. First would be the difficulty to build it. Comparing to most of the Lego Technic sets, this bike is quite difficult to build. Specifically, you constantly have to compare the build and the manual side by side very carefully, unlike most of the Lego set that allows you to easily identify the precise location for each part with a glance. So if you are new to Lego, you need to be very patient when building this set. What's more, some parts on this set are quite loose, and the finished set just doesn't feel solid overall. Especially the radiator, it will always fall off when we accidentally touch it. These flaws make us feel like that we are building a mock set instead of official Lego set. Then there's something that everyone would complain: the massive amount of stickers. But if you look closely, you will understand that it's impossible to use printed parts. The parts used to build the surfaces of this bike are quite small, almost all the body lines are made of multiple parts. So using stickers is a better solution. But that means you need incredible patience. Something else worth mentioning, this bike's shift pattern is not very realistic. BMW M1000RR has first down, rest gears up shift pattern just like other street legal bikes. So the correct gear pattern for this Lego set should be first, neutral, second, third. During the test, we found out that the shift pattern of this set is first, 2ND neutral, third, which doesn't match the real bike. We didn't make any mistake when building it, because during the test, we can figure out which gear it's in by how fast the engine is revving. When the motor is spinning at the same speed, faster the engine revs, lower the gear it's in, just like all the Technic transmissions. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the design of this transmission. As for the packaging, it's a huge colored box. Blue and black color scheme with the render of this set on it, simple but posh. On the right side we can see the 1 to 5 scale marking at the top, and the 18+ marking at the bottom. At the back of the box there are comparisons between the Lego set and the real bike, as well as the sizes of the finished set. 1920 pieces are divided into 16 separate bag and 5 large steps. Manual is inside a plastic bag with 2 pages of stickers. The manual is very thick, with more than 700 steps. Worth mentioning, Lego put 12 pages in it to introduce the real BMW M1000RR motorbike and the thoughts they put into the Lego set. In conclusion, despite all the imperfections, we can't deny that this set is a milestone. You may think that it's just a new Technic set, but all the new parts and the new solution for large-scale motorbikes that comes with it, as well as the brand effect from BMW, all make it one of the most worth buying Lego set in 2022.